Well, there we have it. Our 428 square foot tiny house is dried in. All right, well, we do have windows now, a little bit closer to dry in. Contractors, unfortunately, were not here this week except for one day. They got stuck on something else. So I have a couple roofing contractors coming out as well to give me some quotes on the metal roof. And the siding is here, using Hardy cement board siding. But as for today, I'm pretty much just working on plumbing. For the well, I need a pressure switch, basically a pressure tank. This is a pressure switch, and then pressure gauge. And this is basically if it gets too much pressure in there, this is a pressure release valve. And then I have some PEX fittings on here. And down here, we'll see if my headlamp works. This is my crawl space. I have a pressure tank, so I pre-assembled the kit to tie into it. Let me see if I can get more light in here. I have my well line coming in this back corner. So I already sweat some fittings on there to get to PEX, to convert from copper to PEX. And in a minute, I'm going to be setting up this pressure tank. I'm just going to put it on a concrete block in the corner, and I have all the wiring and plumbing to do, so I'll show you what I'm doing there. This is a pump saver. Actually, this is just a breaker. The pump saver piece is here. It's not all the way connected, but what I need to do is run my power lines into here, and then this hooks up to the pump, and then ultimately the pressure switch is also going to come from this side. The goal is not to run the pump when it's dry. My well does not have a lot of water in it. So I don't want my pressure switch to constantly call for the pump because it will just burn it out. So I initially thought I was going to put my pressure switch over here, but I want to move it closer to the actual where the well comes in. I really need my roof. It's raining in my living room. Man, these storms are crazy. Yeah, I have sheathing on the roof, but you can see all the daylight. I gotta get a tarp or something up there until I can get the actual metal roof on. So bad. All right, I made a lot of progress. While it's raining outside, I've been here in my crawl space. I have the basically the T that goes into the pressure tank, a couple valves. Sorry, you can't see it well. I don't have lights. I'm only using headlamp. And then I have the well saver up there. So everything's ready to go, but then I realized the tank comes pre-pressurized to 25 PSI. I gotta take it up to 38. I don't have a compressor here, so I won't be able to test it today. But progress, feeling good. Not that it's raining in my living room just above me, but getting a lot done. This is my crawl space access. And the issue I had to re-engineer it, and I added a ladder. But I don't know if you can see it, but in there is a piece of rebar with a copper pipe. It's called a U for ground. When the framers framed this crawl space, this was over further, and I had no access to that U for ground, so it was problematic. So I ended up just cutting this all out, moving it this way. I think the standard opening is 18 by 24 or 18 by 20. Either way, this is bigger than that. I ran 6-gauge bare copper wire from the U for ground up into my panel, and then I also ran the green ground is 8-gauge. That's going to my water pipe, the copper water pipe where the well comes in. Oh, it's Labor Day weekend, and I have been laboring. So what I've gotten done, not so much out here. I did get my smoke detectors hardwired. I have 3 of them. This one way up here was really hard. These ceilings at the bottom of that beam is 17 feet. My ladder wasn't quite close enough. I already started the plumbing. My crawl space, we've had monsoon rains, so I did not have a lot backfilled around my foundation as far as dirt. So we got quite a bit of water down there, nothing crazy, but I have this fan set up to try and ventilate down there and get some of the moisture out because there's no ventilation, no windows or anything. So let me show you what I got done down there. All right, no lights down here yet, but I have the pressure tank all done. And then as we move to the right, I have a whole house sediment filter. So that's completely finished. And then as we go through over here, I started the 3-inch main drain line. So the washing machine over here, and then the kitchen sink here. The bathroom we're getting designed this week. So we meet with the designer on Thursday. So I don't know where the plumbing is going to go yet, so I haven't finished that. So yeah, we're making progress. It's been a crazy weekend. Hanging those pipes on my own was kind of tough. I never did that before, so getting them up there was quite the challenge. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm not sure if I showed you the deck. This is from the loft bedroom. We framed in a door. So they started framing the deck. Excited about that. And then to the east we have Pikes Peak. But yeah, it gives us a good view. Really love it up here. I find myself, I've just put a chair out here and just sit here even though it's not done. I take a lot of breaks up here. And this is from upstairs in the loft bedroom. It's only like 8 foot wide from the rail over to the side of the wall. So it should be a little cramped, but having this all big wide open makes it feel so much bigger. It's cool being up here, just perched up here looking down. Really like the design. Really happy with it. I've just been so busy that it's hard to even pick up my camera. Today the guys are putting on hardy cement board siding. Yesterday the ice and water shield got put on and thermal barrier for the metal roof. And then today down here I am drilling a 4-inch hole through the concrete wall to have my 3-inch, basically my sewer line come out. And then we're gonna have some equipment here on Sunday to, trench and grade for the sewer line. So yeah, and then we also have a dumpster on site. We've been picking up all the trash. It's just been crazy town. Goes from really quiet to super busy. Oh yeah, and also they're flopping the deck up here, for that back deck. Today I took down the outhouse that was here. I put it all together with screws years ago and did not glue the fittings when I put it in so that it would be easier to take down and move later because I knew it was temporary. So I'm redoing the setup over there. I was just bracing and leveling. Tomorrow we have machines coming in so that we can trench the line and get everything ready for the septic line to come from the house all the way down to the septic. Now it's the next day, the next morning. It's Sunday, September 14th. So now we're gonna trench the line all the way to the house for the main septic line, and then what I needed for the outhouse to go right into the septic. It took nearly 2 months to get approved for this deck permit. It's only 140 square foot, and it was a late addition to the project during the build. But the inspection today is for these concrete piers. They need to see these piers and the rebar and stuff before we pour concrete in them. So that won't be until later this afternoon. But yeah, we're making progress. We're getting there. Hopefully we'll get the outside done soon. Tomorrow the guys will be here to keep working on the siding. And I'm just focused on outdoor running plumbing lines. This trench, or what should be a trench, is actually where our electric line is going to come in from our main power system. Our off-grid power system's in here, and unfortunately there's a huge slab of granite here that's preventing me from making a clean route over to the house. So I haven't figured that one out yet. NEC code would allow for me to run over that with schedule 80, but I have to have everything. I have to have all the rose granite showing, so that when the inspector gets here, I can prove to him that I can't get through it, and that I'm going to have to use schedule 80 and then concrete over top of it. So I need to clean this ditch out for one. Yesterday I didn't film it, but the French drain that was running all the way around the house finally got daylit out to the driveway at least. But I also installed a crawl space drain, because I don't have a sump pump down there, because our house is just resting on granite, and we just have a service hole that comes down just under the footing, and there's just a straight 3-inch schedule 40 pipe that goes out, and then I just ran the French drain daylight pipe right alongside of it. Today I'm going to be working on the septic while doing the grade to get the septic tank tied to the house. So I'll show you what I've been doing with that. Basically I just have a tamper, a level, and a rake, and I'll show you what I've been doing. Alright, I got a little bit done. It's definitely slow going to get this grade just perfect. Then I have a long sweep 90 that's going to go to the outhouse. But yeah, the excavators dug this way too low. So, sorry about the spinning. I gotta fill in a lot and tamp it, and then, get it to grade. A bit more progress. It's September 27th now, another Saturday. Still at it. The contractors have most of the siding on, so making good progress there. The roof gets installed, I may have mentioned this, October 8th, so we're getting close. Most of the last couple days I've just been working on the septic line, setting the grade. I used a rotary laser to set my grade. Every 10 feet I need to be 2.5 inches higher than the previous 10 feet. So I have all the 3-inch septic drain. I'm short a fitting here. I need like a 22.5 for this angle. But yeah, we're getting there. So close. So hopefully this week they'll be done the siding and they'll start painting before the roof comes in. We've had some great weather, but things are cooling down. The aspens are starting to turn colors. Fall's coming, so I just feel that urgency to get as much done as I can, especially on the outside. So the metal roof is getting installed. A lot of commotion around that. Also, other things that I've been working on, I have these septic risers I installed. They were pretty easy. Basically, when this septic was installed in the late 70s, even though it was never used, they put it like right at the surface, so freezing is an issue. So I installed these risers, and I have one more to go here. It's a 12-inch one I'm going to put. I have most of the septic line in and covered. I just didn't finish the last 20 feet up by the house. I also have the local fire chief coming today to do a walkthrough on the property, just to look at our fire mitigation progress. They do it as a free service, so I'm going to be doing that as well. So yeah, it's really busy. We're closing out the season. The guys have gotten the house painted. It's really looking great. Credit to my wife for picking out the colors. That blue stuff is just the ice and water shield. Here the guys are bending the metal. This is a standing seam metal roof, and they are basically fabricating the metal right on site. So it's pretty cool. They just have the sheets of metal, and then they just come out right to the exact size they need. Pretty cool. Knock this out in a day. Another thing today, we're getting our brown trout removed from the tank, if you know what I mean. And then I also have a significant update on the power system. Initially, I bought this for the house. It's sitting in this barn slash garage that's been here since the 70s. And I was basically going to trench a line over to the house, but we hit so much granite, it's just turning out to be a nightmare. So, change. I also bought a shipping container because my goal is I'm going to demolish this building next year or maybe in a year and a half. It's going to take some money to save, but I just want a 2-car garage with a small little shop on the side. I thought about rehabbing this thing, but it leans so hard. There's a lot of old wood. It would just be too much, I think. So I want to build a garage that's going to have the same look and feel as the house. So I bought a shipping container as a temporary stopgap. And then for the basement power, I bought an EcoFlow because it's modular. Mainly because those power walls or whatever they are, the EG4s, they're like 300 pounds a piece. And I have no way to get those down into the crawl space. That would just be a nightmare. And 6000 XPs are very loud. And in such a small space, I don't want them being really loud. I wanted something quiet, so I figured I'd give the EcoFlow a try. So let me show you inside what I'm doing with that. So for the EcoFlow, with it being modular, I needed something that could fit in my crawl space hole. So I just installed a 30 amp plug, a generator plug, and then I'm going to install the EcoFlow on this wall where I have, I'd say a little over 4 foot height. So I have the main inverter and then 3 batteries. So that's the goal there. And then the way it goes up through, I have 8 gauge wire. And I'm just going to backfeed the panel with a 30 amp breaker. And I think that seems to be my best option. So now the inside work begins. I've done a lot. I have more than half of the electrical done. I didn't get to any of the lighting circuits yet. And then the plumbing, same. I have my main vent stack. I have half of the drain line in the crawl space downstairs. I have the washer dryer combo hookup plumbed in. But at this point, we're getting close to winter, and I just want this thing done. So I'm going to hire a contractor to finish the inside, the rest of it. I'm just excited to move along. Well, we'll see what their price is. If it's too expensive, then, I could take it on myself again. But I'm only doing this on the weekends. I'm working full time. So I'm doing my best to get this homestead up and running, but it's just taking a while. We just passed our 5-year mark of owning this property and rehabbing it and, bringing it back to life. So it's been a long road, and I'm eager to move on, get this done so I can get on to other things outside and solving for food and everything else I have plans for up here. Well, there we have it. Middle of October. Great way to close the season. Our 428 square foot off-grid tiny house is dried in. We have the roof done, it's painted, the deck's done, pretty much all the outside stuff is done. We still have to touch up. It did rain a bit yesterday. My wife was painting the front door, but because of the rain wasn't able to finish the casing. But here we go. This is it.